Good day, you're watching the latest news from Kazakhstan. I'm Max Chadilevich and these are the main stories. Real estate interest holders launch a hunger strike in Astana, demanding the authorities to recall the resolution on estate ownership limits. Almaty is hosting the OSCE informal summit. The name of Nazarbayev's successor could be announced at the event. The authorities of Ust-Kamenogorsk are evicting a single parent of 3 children. An indefinite hunger strike was launched in Astana on Friday, involving 511 people discontented with the inactivity of the authorities. The real estate interest holders demand to recall the state resolution, which imposes a limit of owning no more than 1 apartment per person.
I will strike as long as my health condition will allow it. This hunger strike is indefinite while the protesters count time by the longevity of their struggle for housing. It has been 6 years already. Murat Tosubayev is the 9th person to join the hunger strike. He came here with his 10-year-old son, who will not join the protest, but will try to help his father solve a complicated mind twister. Now that the construction is completed, they gave us only 1 out of 2 apartments that we have invested in. The family saved money their life, and now it has neither the money nor the apartment. Abildina, Suleimanov, Bistrov, Kamenov are the defrauded interest holders left under the whim of fate by the government. They invested all they had in this housing. The list has 511 residents in total. The state decree issued in April prohibited individuals to own more than 1 apartment, thus forcing many interest holders to lose their premises. The decree was issued on April 1st, and the redistribution of the prepaid additional housing started on April 13th during the first housing committee session of the city administration. The hunger strike was timed with the start of the OSCE informal summit of foreign ministers. Some 500 interest holders intend to continue the strike by switching turns until Kazakhstan will host the major event of the year, the OSCE summit in November. All these people already went through trials and did not find justice, therefore they have no choice but to go for such extreme measures. That's why we launched our protest today and intend to continue it until the official meeting of the OSCE heads of state. Baymukhan Bekmagambetov can no longer talk on the matter. He's an artist who designed all the posters and images on the t-shirts. Bekmagambetov is fed up with promises and decided to take action to protect his rights for housing. He intends to stand up against the corrupt authorities. I became an interest holder after the president's personal promotion of the estate project, and now I became a bum, a street clown in the city.
Almaty is hosting the informal summit of the OSCE foreign ministers. According to experts, the ultimate purpose of the event is to reach the unified position regarding the possibility of holding an official OSCE summit in Astana this November. The organization has not had a meeting like this for already 10 years, and the idea to host one in Kazakhstan's capital was first voiced by President Nazarbayev back in January. On Friday, the initiative was supported by almost all present foreign ministers.
The OSCE informal summit of foreign affairs ministers has started in Almaty on Friday. The event was joined by 33 ministers and 15 vice ministers. However, the participants did not seem to have sufficient political will, as some of the key members of the organization were absent. Almost all summit attendees supported Astana's initiative to host the OSCE official summit this year. Diplomatic compliments of countries such as Macedonia and Belarus, however, are still not balanced with the positions of more prominent members. This is the most active chairmanship during the last several years. The summit started with the violation of the protocol, as the meeting of the Kazakh Foreign Affairs Minister Kanat Saudubayev with the UK Vice Foreign Minister David Lidington was held behind the closed doors. Just before journalists were escorted out of the hall, the British diplomat publicly congratulated Kazakh minister with his upcoming birthday and gave a brief comment for the press.
Massive task that faces Kyrgyzstan, the neighbours, and the wider international community. It seems that we're faced with a country where there has been the destruction.
Later in the day, Kazakh Foreign Affairs Ministry signed the cooperation treaty with its counterparts from Cyprus, Portugal and Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Of course, the Republic of Cyprus supports the eventual abolition of visas for all passport holders who want to travel to Cyprus and the other European countries.
The heavyweights like the USA, EU and Russia considered the OSCE key participants did not attend the informal summit. Russian Foreign Affairs Minister Sergei Lavrov and US Deputy Secretary of State James Steinberg joined Kazakh diplomats only in the evening, while on Saturday some of the key participants of the OSCE summit are expected to make some serious statements.
The current informal summit is interesting also due to rumors on the possible change in the political configuration of Kazakhstan. An anonymous user of the Respublika.kz website has stated in his message that President Nursultan Nazarbayev will introduce his successor during the event, as he plans to resign from his post shortly. The online community suggested a list of potential candidates, including the first Vice Prime Minister Isekeshev, ex-cabinet head Tokayev and current Prime Minister Masimov, amongst others.
President Nursultan Nazarbayev is planning to resign and the country will soon witness the so-called Operation Successor, reported the internet portal Respublika with a reference to the Kazakh Foreign Affairs Ministry. According to the publication, Nazarbayev will apparently present his successor during the OSCE informal summit, similarly to how Boris Yeltsin did with Vladimir Putin. Now the plan of transferring the power has become clear. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will serve as the second president of Kazakhstan until 2012, all the hamstrung between Nazarbayev and Vice Prime Minister Isekeshev, who will run for the chair during the next elections. It is expected that Isekeshev will become Nazarbayev's official son-in-law by then. Some political experts, however, are rather skeptical about Isekeshev's perspectives. I believe he has chances as any other candidate, no more, no less. I think the bid will be made on a younger politician with sufficient management background. The leader of the Social Democratic Party, Azat Amirjan Kasanov, says there won't be a successor. I don't think Nazarbayev is going to leave his post that easily, so rumors about his successor are groundless. Despite the caution of politicians and experts in naming the successor, we learned his name nevertheless. Recalling the German oracle, the octopus Paul, we decided to refer to a local foreteller. Parrot Boria makes a living by fortune-telling at one of the Almaty Central Parks. According to many testimonies, his forecasts come true all the time. Amongst 10 names of the potential candidates that were listed, the bird has immediately chosen Prime Minister Karim Masimov. Thus now the name of the successor is no longer a secret.
Meanwhile, citizens of Kazakhstan do not see Isekeshev or Tokayev as potential leaders of the country. The majority of polled respondents in Almaty suggest Imangelde Tasmaganbetov is the best choice to replace Nazarbayev on his post. Perhaps this can be attributed to the fact that Tasmaganbetov has also served as a mayor of Almaty and is well known for his management skills.
We like Musin and Tasmaganbetov. Tasmaganbetov stands out amongst other parliamentarians. It's hard to tell, as everything depends on the president. I can't really tell it right now, as it's quite difficult to predict.
The verdict to Aydos Sadykhov, the ex-leader of the October branch of the National Social Democratic Azad Party, was announced on Friday. The political and public activist was sentenced to 2 years of imprisonment.
Sadykhov is charged with hooliganism conjugated with disobedience to the authorities. The oppositionist has allegedly attacked a bypasser and attempt to steal his mobile phone. He then has showed resistance during the arrest by the police. Sadykhov could have faced a sentence of up to 5 years. However, the prosecution asked for just 2.5. In the meantime, Sadykhov's spouse does not intend to give up and plans to seek justice through international judicial instances. We are outraged by the arbitrariness of the Kazakh judiciary system, as the judge has declined to review and attach to the case material a video recording made during the incident which clearly shows that neither a supposed victim nor police officers were injured.